Welcome back to Beyond Bars. This is Bob Mwangi, your designer of choice, your graphic guru. This is the thing. Beyond Bars is going to be a bit more lively. Every Monday I'll be dropping some of the work that I'm doing. Just show you my expertise, remind you who I am, hopefully inspire you to reach out to work with me. And the business is around swimming pools. It does installations for swimming pools, water purification work. It does everything around water. The owner came to me with a weird name. The previous name was WORATECH, but he wanted a generic name that was not necessarily related to water, but had a connotation of water. But he wanted it to also be very generic in a sense that you will not know that it was water if you think it's like a vernacular thing. So WORATECH. What I see a lot of people come to me with is the design work. You see, naming is very subjective, and I always give you options. I try and be involved in the creation of what that name will be, but a lot of times that process is very personal, especially for the founder or the person who's coming up with the business. The process is usually you'll come up with a couple of names, 5, 10, 20, create something that works. We move to the second phasing of the names. So in this instance, I think WORATECH was the one that was stood out the most. Suddenly I was given a call for, yo, Bob, give me a logo. This thing you gave me, I like this name. I've come up with this is the final name. This is what we are going to put out there. This is what we're going to the market with. So at this point, I think he had already started the business. It was running properly. It was fully operational. Just needed to be branded and created into the world. The truth about WORATECH was it had to be very generic to water, but not explicitly showcase water. Then I had this spark of inspiration while I was in the interwebs. How do you do something that everyone has done differently? So the thing that if you the infinity logo, as a designer, that's a logo that has been done over and over again. There's so many logos that have the infinity symbol. I thought that because of the fact that what he wanted to do was more than water, with water technology it was very fluid, and it was also infinite in nature. You can do filtration systems, swimming pools, you can do water cells, there's a lot of things that go into it, packaging for water. All of those things will fit within the kind of technology that he was offering. With these two symbols, so the infinity symbol and water as inspiration, how do you merge these two things together? My idea was in color, also how wavy the water is. If you look at water, it's fluid, it's in motion. You start playing around with the infinity symbol. Just one day X, one day Z. Played around with it for a day or so. Was inspired by some colors. I was in the fields of purple. So a bit of last year I was in the purple fields. Did a couple of logos that had the purple color, like deep purples. But I also wanted a gradient that would work with the water blue, sky reflection-ish situation, and so that was the next phase. So immediately I figured out how the symbol would look like. I drew that out into something that I liked. Colors worked together, sort of wanted them to feel like you are moving from one state to another state. And also because it's technology, I just sort of wanted it to be very fluid, and also just for video purposes to see a gradient can move whichever way. So in terms of in the future when we are doing videos or we were animating the logos, it will be very simple to animate the logo without so much movement. Did a very slab heavy fonting for the name WORATECH, just so that it stands out by itself, highlights what it is. Then the tagline added on, just supporting the whole structure, and then it's just all balanced out well together. Went into pictures and how the communication would look like. But the best part was Immediately he started asking for the logo. He was like, hey dude, I have a shop, would you do branding for that shop as well? So that the deliverables for that project were stationery, business cards, and communication that will be used on the branding, as well as flyers in the future. But I had such a short period of time, so I did not go in depth into creation of a brand guidelines, which the client did not have the budget for either way. So it was a work in progress, and that's what I pride myself in. I pride myself in ensuring that everything that I do fits within the budget that you have. I will try not to overcharge or give you things that you do not require. So for this specific instance, I gave one logo that I thought worked, two other options that I thought will be good options, but which were not picked. But the one option that I liked, or the one option that I had put in a majority, so the main idea that I had was chosen all the way to the end. When he saw the logo, he was like, oh dude, man, I like the infinity symbol. And I was like, hey, what? Yo, we are so in sync, how did you know? So he was asking me that. I was like, hey, I didn't even tell him the idea of the infinity symbol and the works. It's just felt like I was in my fields. I'm telepathic like that. Everything looked good up until the point when the branding was done and now printed the works. I like to go do the measurements myself. So for instance, if I'm doing the artworks, I like to either have someone who will do the printing, go do the measurements, or I go myself and do the measurements. A lot of times though, it doesn't work like that because of how tight the deadlines are and how quick turnaround is required. I may not have the time to go do these measurements. So the person who did the measurement did a slight 0.6, off. A 6 millimeter off. So everything did not fit right all the way around. So in this specific instance, the artworks that were given, the measurements that were given were off 6 millimeters. At the end of the day, we sort of figured it out, but it was a bit of a challenge. That was the only challenge that I faced. The second challenge that I faced for this specific thing was the timelines that I had to deliver. This was like a 2-day turnaround thing, and then over and above the 2 days that I had, on the third day I was asked to do branding. So it was, all in all, it was done in 5 days, including printing, including putting up, just so that the guy opens the shop with proper branding. I love the pressure. I don't mind delivering under pressure, but in future, if you can be able to give at least a week or so advance notice, it will be nice. I look forward to the next video. I look forward to giving you something nice. The 2024 lazima jo. Kwani kazi sisi tunatengenezea logo, nani atawatengenezea hata nini? Till next time, see you.
hide.